Thank you for tuning in to another Candidly LJC. Why am I talking like this? Well, because I just got a new mic from the TikTok shop and it makes me talk just like this. Why did I need a new mic from the TikTok shop? Who knows? No, but for real, in all seriousness, thank you for tuning in to another Candidly LJC. That's me, Larissa JC. And well, there's no one else that can be. Why? Because my mother named me. Thank you, Mama. Now let me tell you something. You are uniquely you. I am uniquely me. Because I am. But together, we're going to be uniquely we and make this world a better place. Because, well, we need a better place. Just like MJ said.
Good job.
Okay, so what's on today's agenda? If you've been following me, if you have not been following me, I have been just living life. Life has been lifing. But in between the life of lifing, I have been working on growing a small business out of the little nook of the corner of the earth, making waist bead and beaded bracelets as such. Okay, you can find me on Etsy at Waist Beaded by JC. However, what I've been doing recently are vendor events, market shops, pop-up shops, craft fairs, however you would like to call it. I've been doing that. This is about my 9th, 10th, or 8th one in. I can't remember, but somewhere around there. And I've recorded a couple of videos on previous market shops. So please go check those out. If you're someone who has recently started vending, if you've been looking for ideas, a little inspiration, well, you might have found the right spot because I'm here to do just that. Okay. So in the in-between of me doing these vendor shows and market events, I have been trying to add personality to my table. Being that I'm new to this, I'm growing, I'm discovering. What I do know is that in order to make money, you have to spend money. And that's the crude, rude way of the world. But my effort is to always spend as little as possible, because why am I going to these market shows trying to make money if I'm just spending it along the way? However, I digress. Keep it together, girl. I got a few notes here because I wanted to stay on task and I don't want this intro to be too long. I had recorded an intro when I had got to the event, but I really didn't like that intro. And I thought it was only fair to me that I record a new one. So here it is. So around 2020, I discovered waist beads, loved them. There were no waist beads that I could locate that would fit my plus size waist. So I decided to make my own. When I made my own, I felt very, very beautiful. I felt wonderful in these waist beads. So then I decided to make my friends some waist beads because I wanted them to feel as beautiful as I did when I adorned my body with those waist beads. And in making waist beads for every female that I knew for free, and seeing their reaction to how they were feeling, the fact that they loved those waist beads around their body too, it encouraged me to maybe branch off and start a business making waist beads, selling on Etsy. Within me growing my waist bead business, I decided to start doing vendor shows, vendor events. So this last event that I have done was at a poetry slam that also offered exposure to other local small businesses. I have done this show twice. So this previous time was the second time that I did it. Hold up, let me get some water. This was the second time that I had decided to participate at this vendor show, at this poetry slam. So my main focus was to spruce up my table. I went to Pinterest for ideas, and I also came across some really good YouTube channels that talked about their journey doing vendor events, market shops, and running a small business as well. So I caught a lot of inspiration from that. And I recognized that I needed to add some personality to my table. So my main brand colors are purple. So when you see my brand, that's what you see that stands out the most. Purple. I got a cute tulle purple tablecloth. I was using a black one. It seems like once I got that purple tablecloth, it really helped to bring attention to my table just out of that color. Color is very important. That's another thing. That's another reason why I enjoy beating waist beats, because of all the pretty colors. However, that's another day. I was running around in my previous vlog. Go check that out. I was running around trying to figure out how to bring personality to my table. Fast forward to yesterday. I had my market event. I am sharing a little bit of that. I am still working on vending and vlogging at the same time, the double V's. It is a lot of work, and it does take a lot of preparation. And so with the next scene is just leading right into me setting up my table, because again, I re-recorded this intro for this vlog. And so hopefully I can just add some insight into my day yesterday, and for the most part, just share with you. I promise this is not a sped up scene. This is really how fast I am moving. They gave us an hour. It was crunch time. I was trying to get my table set up. I didn't even know how I really wanted my table to look. I just had that cute butterfly rug to go off of. These custom waist bead bags my aunt made for me. She recognized that I needed something to transport my waist beads in, and she made me these cute custom bags. Her niche is sewing, and so she saw a need and filled a need for me, and I am very appreciative of it. You see this purple butterfly rug that I have laid out on my table? Well, I got this idea from Pinterest. Pinterest helped me idealize my table. And I am happy that I went and looked at Pinterest, because really, to be honest with you, I don't use Pinterest a lot. But I was working very hard to get my table set up, because I was trying to understand what it was supposed to look like. I did not take the time to do a mock setup. That's my fault prior to this event. And so I was just placing everything out on the table and trying to idealize what that was supposed to look like. It always takes me way too long than what I desire to get this table set up. An hour for me is just not enough. And so now we on rush mode, okay? Why is it a thing for organizers to only give you an hour to set your table up? At least in my area. I know I've watched other vlogs and they say they have like 2-3 hours. Well, they only give us an hour, and I'm like pushing that time every time. Okay, I think I finally got my stuff together. I finally got my table looking like how I want it to look. And look at this beautiful artwork behind me from a local artist who I was informed does murals around the city. So I have 2 sales already, so I'm quite elated about that, because I've almost made back my booth space. Not quite yet. So I think I'm gonna just set you up and let you go. The space that I'm in works out perfectly. This is the second time that I've participated in this particular event, and I am in the same spot as I was last time. I like it because there's nobody on either side of me, or front or back. I'm just the only one highlighted in this space, and the artwork worked very well for my table. It did take me a bit of time to put my table together, but once I finished, it was perfect, and I loved the outcome. I had an idea in my head of how I wanted my table to look, and I feel like I executed that really well. I like this venue space. It's not overcrowded. However, I did think that there was going to be more people than what there actually was that arrived, but she always has a really good turnout for the poetry slam itself. So it's important for your table to look as best as possible. This venue had a lot of beautiful artwork. It's used as an art space. The art that you see is available to buy. This lady has some fantastic honey bun cake. I was mad that I did not buy more. Also, the last time I was here, I bought one of these rings. I wear it almost every day. There were a lot of great vendors here. This woman, she was so pleasant. We clicked really well. I purchased my sage cleansing stick from her booth that you saw at the beginning of this video. There were nice shirts that had great motivational sayings on them. It was just a lot of variety. Nobody had the same exact stuff. And I have participated in shows where there's 3-4 vendors selling the same thing. And as an organizer, I think it is very important to have some versatility in the small businesses that you have doing your event so they can all have equal opportunity. That's another reason why I decided to sign up for this event. Plus, this event did not start until 5 o'clock. So we had to be there at 4. And I like events where I ain't got to be there at the crack of dawn. Yo, I really like that because my social, timer, my social skills run out quickly. So I really like that. Okay, so it's wind downtown now. The poetry slam has started, and so for the most part, everybody has went upstairs to go enjoy the show. You see that good food that I showed you, and I really want some. I really want some of those chicken tacos, but I just can't eat while I'm at an event. So far things have been going fairly smoothly. There are new people here, and there are some returners. One vendor in particular that I have gotten acquainted with, so I have been really enjoying their company, and some new people as well. So far I got about 4 sales in, which isn't bad, but I'm hoping to do triple that, to be completely honest with you. So hopefully when they adjourn, is it called adjourn? Hopefully when they come back down, they'll be in the mood to shop, because, you know, like, the poetry will get them all up in their feelings and feeling good and be ready to come back down and just spend a little, you know, to our small business. They got some cake. They got 3 people here. They got 2 people here with cake and 1 here with cookies. And like I said in my previous video, the hardest part about vending is keeping the money that you made and not spending it with other vendors, because other vendors have great products to offer. And when it's sweets, I am weak for sure. So yeah, I'm just gonna sit here. It's just dead right now. There's nobody coming in because they're all at the poetry slam right now. So all I can do is wait. I think that one of the most rewarding parts of doing these events is the people that you meet, honestly. And when you go on to social media and you read the comments, it can be really off-putting. But I'm telling you, when you're in a space, and the spaces that I've had the opportunity to do pop-up shops in, I have been surrounded by some really good and interesting people. So that has been very rewarding, to say the least. Potential customers, and even more so, the other small business vendors that also participate in these events, have been really informative, really friendly, really helpful. It is really a community, and it's very obvious. And I think that what can be even more rewarding than honestly selling your product is really building a rapport with people. With me, I am such an introvert. I am not around people a lot. So these events really allow me the opportunity to socialize and to communicate with other like-minded people. And I think that's one of the most rewarding things that I've recognized from doing these events so far, because I am really a to myself type of person. Another great opportunity is that there's other small business owners there, and they are selling some really good products too. And when you go to these market shows and pop-up affairs, you find some interesting products that you might not see in the store. So it really helps to also support your fellow small business uh, associate, because that is really what's going to help change the markets within our community, and really keep the dollar within the community, is when we do shop small business. I really do love the idea of being the owner of a small business, and I know that mine is very small, and I have recently been very distracted about my business not growing. But what I have definitely decided to do is not give up. And there may be some times where I stall, where I lose focus. I think that that can happen to any business owner, really. But um, trying to stay positive is what's the best. And when you get out there and you talk to other people who are pretty much in the same situation as you, just trying to grow their business, it really brings things into perspective. I'm going to say, with working with setting up my table this time around, because I did bring in some new elements, you want to have a plan for how that's supposed to look on your table. You don't really want to like go in there blind like I did yesterday, because I had a vision in my head. I just didn't take the time out to set up the table that I have here at home and like kind of do like a little mock setup. I didn't take that time really. So I would say that you would want to take out the time to see how your products are going to look on your table, or going to look in the space that you're setting up. It did really kind of work out because I had a generalized idea from what I saw on Pinterest, and I did kind of want to mimic that, even though it was just like a small little section. If I can post a picture, I will. A little small little picture section of a table, but it gave me a lot of inspiration. It is really like I really felt like it really stepped my table up a lot. So really try to draw inspiration in from other sources. Google this vendor displays, jewelry displays, whatever it is that you're selling, book displays, t-shirt displays, shoe, hat displays, in association with vending, and just really gather some inspiration and information from other resources, and kind of put your own little twist and personality on it. Most of all, I want you to keep your expectation practical. I think we really go into new endeavors with really big expectations, and I still do that to this day. It is something that I'm actively working to not do. I want to keep it into a real perspective instead of such a huge perspective, and work it day by day. And I think that that's another reason that has slowed me down, because of the big expectations that I had not met really became a discouragement to me. So when you're vending, go in there with practical expectations. Me, myself, I deal with anxiety. Prepare yourself for your anxiety, but also mentally prepare yourself to be ready to engage with other people if this is a way that you see yourself growing. So just be reasonable and rational with stepping into this. I am so nervous up until the actual day. Like once I'm finished setting up, then I'm like, okay, and I feel like I can breathe. But then are they going to shop with me? And then for the most part, I always get a customer. Not too long ago, I did do an event where I did not get not a one customer, and it really hurt my ego. It really did. And then gathering information from other vendors, I noticed that that happens to a lot of us. I also follow a group on Facebook, so find groups to get into as well. I don't want to make this over tippy, like too many pointers, because it's more so about just my experience and where you can see yourself growing from there as well. But just keep a really practical and bright expectation. But I am not going to make this video too long. I just wanted to come in and share my experience with you. I've been talking about it, so it was time to share about it. And I also wanted to use this mic too because I was like, why do I need a mic? But for the most part, I think I just need these mics for outside. I noticed that a lot of times it'd be windy, and like on a windy day, these mics will really come in handy. But I guess the audio doesn't sound too bad on it. I think that it would be okay to just continue just recording videos like how I was previously recording them without the mic. I think my phone picks up on sound quite well. However, I would really appreciate it if you give this video a thumbs up. I'm really trying to get my content out there and share with other people so we can continue to build this beautiful community. I do appreciate the follows that I have received. I do appreciate the views that I have received. And again, thank you for tuning in. I'll see you in the next vlog. Take care.